Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. We're going to jump into this video, and I'm going to talk about the three players that I think are under the most pressure for the New Orleans Saints this upcoming season. Now, before we do that, we're going to jump into some honorable mentions, and two of these people aren't even players. They're coaches, and we'll just jump right into it. Number one on the list, it'll be obviously Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen hasn't shown much as the head coach of NFL, winning 4 games a couple times. Then last season, the Saints under 500 again. So he's going to have to show up this year. The team's going to have to at least be in playoff contention at worst. At worst. Honestly, I was going to say at worst win a division, but he has to be in the thick of things in the playoffs, so he's probably going to be out the door. Second coach on the list will be Pete Carmichael. He's in the same boat as Dennis Allen. He might be on a hotter seat than Dennis Allen because he has a chance not to even make it through the year. I think that's how hot his seat will be this year. Offense under Sean Payton, obviously one of the best in NFL history throughout his tenure. Then Pete Carmichael takes over. First time, really having that job full time, and it didn't go well for Pete Carmichael. The offense just wasn't great. I know quarterback play was down. Injuries happened, but still, you have to you have to do it with whoever's out there, and he did not do it. So I think he's going to be on the hot seat. Man, I can see the Saints starting off like 2-2, and the offense is struggling, and Pete Carmichael just being out the door. And last, I want to throw one player honorable mention. I don't think his seat is really hot. I don't think he's under super pressure, but I would like him to do well this year. And that's Trevor Penning, first-round pick, injury-riddled first season. Not really getting to go out there and show what he can do. The Saints spent the first-round pick on him and didn't produce rookie year. Injuries. When he was healthy, got out there, only played about 5 to 10 plays in spurts. Then he started one game, but he's going to be under some pressure to produce this year to win that left tackle spot. Now we're going to jump to the 3 players, and number 1 on the list is former All-Pro, former number 1 receiver in the NFL, and that's Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas was having a fantastic career under Sean Payton. Then he came up with an ankle injury, and then all hell just broke loose after that. But before that ankle injury, man, he was one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best receiver in the NFL. He signed an extension, 5 years, $96 million deal. It's been a disaster, an absolute disaster since he signed that deal. Nothing is going right. He missed the entire season at one point. In those 3 years that he's, after that extension, it's been 3 years. 3 seasons after that extension. Look at his stats. 56 catches, 609 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's in 3 seasons from a guy that's making 5 years, almost $100 million. It's just unacceptable. I don't care about the circumstances. I don't care about the injuries, the coaching changes, the beef with the organization, the quarterback play. If you're making 5 years, $96 million, we're going to need more than 56 catches, 600 yards, and 3 touchdowns in 3 seasons. That's a touchdown per year. A touchdown per year. He's making $20 million for 1 touchdown a season. Call it what you want. I think Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers in the NFL when healthy. But if you're not healthy, then, what can we say? He's going to be under a lot of pressure this year, not just because, to play on the field. He's going to be a contract year. It's going to be a contract year for him. The Saints restructured that deal. Everyone thought he was going to get cut, including myself. That ended up not happening. They found a way to work out a deal where he could stay in New Orleans, and now he's going to have to show up. It's a 1 year, $10 million deal, like a $5 million signing bonus. So it's basically 1 year, $15 million deal, and it's a prove-it deal. Show me what you got in the tank. Are you still the guy? Are you still a number 1 receiver? Can you be healthy? I think that's going to be one of the most important things. Can he be healthy? We'll see when training camp comes around if he's going to be out there at the start of training camp and if he's healthy. If he's not healthy at the start of training camp, that's already a big red flag for me. A big red flag. I know the season's not until a couple months, but he needs to be healthy for training camp. He needs to have a full offseason. He missed a lot of football. He needs to build that chemistry with Derek Carr. He needs to be out there. Also, I know he's going to have that motivation for himself to, am I still one of the best in the NFL? I know he believes that, but you can believe what you want. If you're not, you're not. And he's going to have to show it on the field. Because I already said, I put it on record, I think Chris Olave is going to have a better season than him. And Chris Olave is going to take over that number 1 role as the Saints receiver this year. So, he's going to have a lot of internal motivation, but I think Michael Thomas is under a boatload of pressure this upcoming season just to prove it to himself. Prove it to the Saints, prove it to the NFL. He's an egotistical guy, man. Those receivers. They want to be the best. They want to prove they're the best. I think he's going to have a lot of pressure this upcoming season. So Michael Thomas falls as the first person on my list. And this is not in any type of order, but number 2 on my list. It's like deja vu all over again with this guy. Another first round pick. And let's just jump into it, man. He's going into year 3. It's Peyton Turner. He's going into year 3. defensive end, another first-round pick. I say why it's deja vu because the other guy, Marcus Davenport. It's like the deja vu all over again. At least Davenport, shows some flashes and things like that. But Peyton Turner, it's been 2 seasons. His career stats, 3 sacks, 20 tackles, 2 years from a first-round pick. He's played in 13 games. Started 0, a goose egg. He started 0 games. He's a first-round pick. It's been 2 years. Now, I know we've had Cameron Jordan. I know we've had Marcus Davenport, so it's going to be hard for him to crack that rotation. But Davenport's been hurt. Cam Jordan missed a couple games. We can't get a start. You letting Carl Granderson start over you. You letting Tano start over you. You're a first-round pick. You can't show anything, on film where you can be a starter for at least 1 game in 2 seasons as a first-round pick. So he's going to be under most pressure, I think. I think it's a make-or-break year for him. And I'm not even saying that for the Saints' sake. I think it's a make-or-break year for him in the NFL. I think if he doesn't produce this year, if he doesn't show anything, any signs on the field, that he might just be out the league. Hey, the New Orleans Breakers might need you. You might get a job in the USFL, the XFL, or something like that. Because the NFL, it doesn't seem like it's for you. I'm just going to be honest. I just got to be straightforward with it. Peyton Turner has shown nothing to me. He had 1 good game, and that was the first game he's ever played against the Carolina Panthers. I keep going back to that. He showed flashes. He showed like, okay, maybe we finally got, something right in the first round. We didn't. We absolutely didn't. He's another guy that's got to be healthy. 13 games in 2 years. Come on now. It's over 30 being played. You've played in less than half of the games. He has to be healthy. He has to show something. He has to do something for the Saints, man. He's probably not going to start this year. It's probably going to be Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson. He's probably going to be the next guy off the bench. But the Saints, obviously, drafted Isaiah Foskey at the defensive end position. So you're already getting replaced. So if you don't show anything this year, it's going to be a rocky roll for him to even stay in the NFL, in my opinion. I think it's going to be tough for him because I think he might get buried on the depth chart this year. If he doesn't produce early, doesn't show flashes early, it might just be a long, boring season for him, and he might not make it to next year. We'll see, though. We'll see. I hope he does well. Like, I'm saying all this, but at the end of the day, I hope he does well. The Saints need him. We can't just keep wasting first-round draft picks. Like, we need him to produce. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But if it happens, hey, fantastic. Now, the last guy on the list, it might be a shock to some people. It might not, depending on who you are. This guy, one of the best Saints players. Maybe one of the best Saints players in history, if we're being honest. One of the most talented, one of the most exciting. But this guy is no other than running back 1, Alvin Kamara. Now, like I said, it might shock some people that Alvin Kamara's on this list, but let's go through it. Obviously, the incident that happened in Vegas, in the Pro Bowl, I'm not going to say this is why he's under pressure, but that's not a good look for you. Now you have a suspension looming for you, and that's just never good. So he's probably going to be suspended 3, 4, 5 games, 6 games. Who knows what the NFL is going to do to him, but he's definitely going to be suspended. And he's coming off his worst 2 seasons as a pro. Now, when I say his worst 2 seasons, it's not a normal worst 2 seasons. It's not like he ran for 200 yards, just fumbling the ball 10 times, can't catch the ball. I mean, I'm just comparing him to Alvin Kamara himself. Excuse me. And his stats for the last 2 seasons, he 898 yards on the year before, 3.7 yards a carry. Absolutely, that's pathetic. I'm not just blaming it on him, the offensive line, the play call, whatever you want to call it. But 898 yards, 3.7 yards a carry, that's unacceptable. And 47 catches that season. The next season, which was last season, 897 yards, 4.0 yards a carry, and 57 catches. That's a little better, but still not the Alvin Kamara we know. And why do I say that? Look at his yards per carry. Before those 2 seasons, you had 6.1 his rookie season, 4.6, 4.7, and 5.0. That's an elite running back right there. And also his catches, 81 catches rookie season, 81 again, then 83 before he fell to 47 and 57. So we need that guy back. Now, you can blame this on a multitude of things. It's not just Alvin Kamara. You can blame it on the quarterback play. You go from Drew Brees to Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, Trevor Siemian, Ian Book, Taysom Hill, whoever you want to name at that quarterback position. You can blame it on play calling. You go from Sean Payton to Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen, whoever the hell's running this offense over here. You can blame it on the offensive line being hurt. You can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. But facts are facts. He's fell off in production. I don't care who gets the blame, but he's fell off in production, and we need him to be productive. It's simple as that. He signed a 5-year, $75 million contract. That puts pressure on you. You're one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL, and you have to play like it. You have to play like it, man. I don't think he's falling off the cliff. He's 27, going to turn 28. That's usually that age for a running back. That is usually that age for a running back where they start to slow down. But the Saints did do a good job of preserving him in his career, not just running him from 300 carries. You know, they slowly entered him in. He's been splitting carries his whole career, but it's time for Alvin Kamara to produce. He's produced now. Don't get me wrong. He's produced, and he's been electric. He had run a very bad game last year against the 49ers where he fumbled and things like that. But he's been producing for the Saints, but I need to see another level. I need to see that all-pro guy, the best back in the NFL type guy, because he's out of that conversation. I'll still lie and say it. You know, he's the best back in the NFL just because of his versatility and things like that. But a lot of guys have passed him. A lot of guys have passed Alvin Kamara, and it's hard to admit that. But it's just a fact. So we'll see, man. These guys are under the most pressure for me. Like I said, from the coaches, Pete Carmichael, Dennis Allen, Trevor Penning, my honorable mentions. Then you have guys, Michael Thomas, Peyton Turner, Alvin Kamara. We're going to need these three guys. Somebody has to step up this year. I think all of these guys are under pressure. I think they have a good chance of being successful this year. Peyton Turner, don't really know what he's going to do. But I do think these guys, Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas especially, are going to have to step up for the Saints, have to be healthy, have to be leaders, do all those things. So we'll see what happens, man. If y'all have anybody else that y'all think that's under pressure for the Saints, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I missed somebody. Maybe somebody in your top three that's not in my top three. But it was some other guys on the list that almost made it but didn't make it. So Penning, Alvin Kamara, Peyton Turner, Michael Thomas. Hey, let's show up this season. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, this is Taboo Tragedies. I'm out.
So one last time, let's make